So I'm going to be sharing stories from the Gurukula's Krishna story class. I figured I might share here on YouTube with the rest of the world. So we're on chapter 74 of the Krishna book, the story, The Deliverance of Shishupal. But before we get started, just 3 things I'm going to ask you to do quickly. Subscribe, share, and support. These videos and what we do here is to support the Gurukula, the online Gurukula we have. And your participation, your support in any way that you can is greatly appreciated. So below, I'll have the Gurukula website, nvigurukula.com. Go there, go to the support page, and support the Gurukula as best you can. Any amount will do, whether it's $5, $500,000, wishful thinking. Please go there and do that. Subscribe and share this with others, and we can grow and create a wonderful Gurukula for our Vaishnav children. Okay, so Yudhishthir has sent his 4 brothers, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakul, and Sahadev, right? Bhima went to the east, and he essentially conquered all of the kings of the east. And not so much conquered as let them know this is what we're doing. We would like your support. All the kings supported. Those few kings who held out, they had to face Bhima on the battlefield. Bhima had no problem. He went and he brought all of the eastern side of Bharat under the banner of Yudhishthir. Sahadev went south. He did the same thing for the kings of the southern region. Nakula went west and Arjuna went north. They all returned back to Indraprastha with the blessings, with the gifts of the kings of those various regions, all agreeing to be under the rule, the sovereignty of Indraprastha, Yudhishthir. But there was one problem, one particular king who was not going to submit to the reign of Yudhishthir, an empire ruled by Yudhishthir and the Pandavas. Wasn't going to happen. He was not going to abide by that. This king, his name was Jarasandha. Now, Jarasandha had a long enmity with Krishna. Jarasandha's daughters had married Kamsa, who was Krishna's uncle. And you may know the story. Krishna killed his uncle. Krishna killed Kamsa. Because Kamsa, I'm getting away from the Shishupal story, but bear with me. It's all tied in together. All these dynamics are tied in together. Before Krishna was born, there was a prediction was made that Kamsa's sister was going to, actually Kamsa's cousin, Devaki, her 8th child was going to kill Kamsa. So when this prophecy came out, Kamsa was furious, to the extent that he was actually going to decapitate his sister. His sister's husband, Vasudev, calmed Kamsa down, pacified him, very difficultly, by the way. And the only way he was able to pacify Kamsa was by promising that whatever children Devaki and I have, we will bring them to you, and you can do with them what you wish. Vasudeva is thinking that how could someone possibly see a newborn child and engage in infanticide? He was trying to save Devaki. That was his most important, critical, emergency concern. So they agreed. Devaki gave birth, and Vasudeva, true to his word, he took the children, the firstborn child, to Kamsa. And as he had suspected, Vasudeva had planned, Kamsa his heart was melted by the fact that he saw his newborn baby. There was no way, what was he going to do to a newborn baby? And Kamsa said this. He said, what am I going to do with a newborn child? Besides, it's not your first child, it's your eighth child. So he sent Vasudeva back, and Vasudeva and Devaki began to live happily ever after. Kamsa, under the goading by Narada Muni, came to think that why would I trust that it's the first child or the eighth child that's going to kill me? I'll kill all of them. And that's what he did. Over a number of years, he killed the sons of Vasudeva and Devaki, except for the seventh and the eighth. The seventh child was a miscarriage. It wasn't a miscarriage. It was some subterfuge had taken place, and it was actually Lord Krishna's elder brother, Balaram, was that seventh child. But Kamsa thought it was a miscarriage. And then Krishna was born, and Krishna, some more subterfuge, Krishna was whisked away from... Actually, Kamsa had put Krishna's parents, Devaki and Vasudeva, in prison. All this is happening in a prison. When Krishna was born, miraculously the prison doors opened. Vasudeva was able to take Krishna out of prison and hide him away in Vrindavan, Gokul and Vrindavan. And that's where Krishna grew up for the first 8 years of his life. When Krishna turned 8, he came back to the kingdom where Kamsa was living. His parents were still in prison. Kamsa had actually also imprisoned his own father. His own father was the king of the kingdom. He imprisoned his own father and usurped the throne. Krishna came, killed Kamsa. Kamsa was married to... He had two wives. These two wives were the daughters of Jarasandha. So Jarasandha had this enmity with Krishna because his two daughters are widowed because Krishna killed their husband. Jarasandha attacked Krishna's kingdom 18 times. And 18 times Krishna and the Yadu dynasty, the dynasty of which Krishna is a part, they defeated Jarasandha, sent him packing. He would come back again with a new army. He did this 18 times. Now the connection between Krishna and the Pandavas is that Krishna is actually the cousin of the Pandavas. So by dint of this family relationship between Krishna and the Pandavas, Jarasandha is not going to submit to the will of the Pandavas in their quest for becoming the new world empire, so to speak. Yudhishthira knew this. So he asked Krishna, what do I do? I want to put on this Rajasuya Yagya, this ceremony, ceremony to establish my reign over the entire world. But Jarasandha is not going to let this happen. So Uddhava, who was Krishna's secretary, he had an idea. He said, why don't you go disguised as Brahmins, go to Jarasandha's kingdom, and when he offers you some charity, as was the dharma, as was the duty of a king, when he offers you charity, ask to fight, and then kill him in hand-to-hand combat. So Krishna took this idea and he said, we'll do this. Krishna pledged to Yudhishthira, we'll do this. Myself, Arjuna, and Bhima will go to Magadha, which was Jarasandha's kingdom, and we will carry out this plan that Uddhava has devised. So that's what they did. Krishna, Arjuna, Bhima, they went to Magadha. Jarasandha offered them charity. He didn't know they were Kshatriyas. He thought they were Brahmins. Offered them charity. Bhima says, I want to engage in one-on-one combat. Jarasandha realized that these were the Pandavas and Krishna. He was upset that he was tricked, but he says, okay, let's do it. Bhima killed him. I'm compressing this part of the story, of course. Jarasandha was killed. Krishna put Jarasandha's son on the throne of his father. And then they returned back to Indraprastha. So now is the preparation of the Rajasuya Yagya. All the kings of Bharat have agreed to serve under or exist under the banner of Yudhishthira. So now all that's done. So now it comes time for the preparation of the actual sacrifice itself. Yudhishthir invites all the kings of Bharat, which is what the four brothers had done when they went out on their world tour, if you will. Yudhishthir invited all the great sages. Vyasadeva was there, Asita was there, Shukracharya was there, Parashuram was there. The veritable who's who in the list of great sages were invited, and they came to witness this Rajasuya Yajna of King Yudhishthir. Even the demigods, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Indra, also came and attended and witnessed this Rajasuya Yajna. So great preparations were being made for this Rajasuya Yajna. Now this Yajna had been done, this ceremony had been done previously by Varuna. Varuna is the god of water. And when he did the Yajna, he brought all of the great precious gems, stones, from the realm of the water. And Yudhishthira was able to get those same gems and paraphernalia that Varuna had used for his yajna. Yudhishthira was able to get them for his own. So it was a very, very unique and very special occasion to see a yajna done with the opulence that Varuna had done when he had previously done the yajna before. So the entire city of Indraprastha was cleaned, festooned, decorated. People from all over Bharat came. Indraprastha was packed, crowded, pardon me, from end to end, with everyone coming to see and witness this. And it's not just a one-day event, it's an extended event over several days, this yajna. So there's great festivities, great pomps. It's like, the Olympics have nothing on what Yudhishthir is arranging for this Rajasuya Yajna. So we've passed time. We'll end here, and tomorrow we'll come back to this story and go into part 2, where we find out exactly what happened. Some unfortunate tragedies happened during this yajna. So remember, I need you to do 3 things. Subscribe, hit the subscribe button. That helps support Gurukula. Share this video with others and around the world. The more we can share these stories of Krishna, the better. And support. The link will be in the description, in the comment section. Please go to the Gurukul website. Whatever monthly support you can give would be greatly appreciated. Hari Hari, I'll see you tomorrow.